Here's an example of their computer. Beware of that. So we're going to need to work our peripheral vision because we don't know what the jobs are. I know you may have wanted me to come here and say this is where the jobs are going to be and this is what you need to do right now, and I can't do that, and you understand why I can't do it, because it's changing too fast. But industries change and we need to be thinking globally. There are support industries for every industry, and they're going to happen fast, and there's going to be technologies associated with them, and communication is going to be critical. I would go out to universalclass.com or go over to the programs that they were talking about, and I would get as many communication classes under my belt as I could. Global communication, cross-cultural communication. I would work communication and have that down. Recently I've done what's the new communication? And management. Management and management. This is the Neo-Luddite handheld device. Maybe you've seen it. As scary as it is, we need to embrace what's going on. Because in the future, you're not going to apply for jobs. You're going to be found. They're going to come to you. You must become an expert in your industry, and it's easy today. You can do it from behind your computer on LinkedIn, knowing what industry trends are. You can do this, and it's fun to know what's going on and being on the up and up of what's happening. Knowing your industry is going to be critical, and you're going to need to expect a labor-on-demand workforce. Do you know what I mean by that? 1099? It's been happening for 10 years, more than that. I remember the time when they said, yeah, we sold all of our IT people, human trafficking, to Siemens. And we went to those people and said, no problem, no problem. You're going to work here, you're going to come, you're going to do your job, and you're just going to get your paycheck from Siemens now. Until, we don't really need a lot of those IT people down there, so tell Siemens that we don't need them. And Siemens comes out and says, there's good news and there's bad news. We don't need you for second quarter, but the good news is we're going to need you for third quarter. And now that you're a 1099 employee, and you're only needed when you're needed, and that's when you have work. So this is going to happen. There were two things in the way. This is something to watch. The first thing is that healthcare was tied to full-time employment. That's no longer the case, is it? The second thing is that when 1099 people get their money, they don't have to give it to the government in terms of taxes. Every time a large business has payroll, the government gets a paycheck, right? When that ceases to happen, when there's legislation in the wings that says all of you 1099 people are required to file monthly, as opposed to now it's quarterly, but you don't have to, we are on our way to this new labor-on-demand workforce. There's nothing that's going to stop it, because we don't want people sitting around if we don't have work for them. So you're going to want to watch. You're going to strategize on how you want to be known. I just about had a 20-something in my office have a heart attack because I did a search. Fine, fine young man. And I showed him the pictures I could find from his sorority without even going on Facebook. He left and took care of the problem immediately. How do you want to be known? I said sorority, I meant fraternity. Fraternity, yes. And it was a service fraternity, but the pictures, you wouldn't know that. Ooh. How do you want to be known? What do you want your online identity to be? The finest administrative assistant you will ever know. Fast, insightful, decisive, intuitive. How do you want to be known? Right now, if an IT person wants a job, they can look at a job posting which says, we do not want your resume, do not send it. You will be judged on the following. your LinkedIn profile. We would like you to put together a slide share on thus and such, a PowerPoint on this, put it up on LinkedIn. We are asking you to solve this problem. And when you finish with this problem, I'd like you to write an essay on this issue that came up with this particular issue that we had in-house, and send that information to the following place. And that's how you will be judged. Now, in the future, we're going to go out and find the people and say, how active is your job search? And your answer is going to be, I'm willing to look at anything if it's the right opportunity for me, right? That's going to be your answer. For the right opportunity, I'm interested in listening, because they're going to be coming to you. They're going to find you. So you're going to create your online persona. We're going to embrace change. Look, we can go into this as a Luddite, or we can go into this and say, okay, I'm coming. We could also enjoy the trip. Isn't it pretty cool to see that someone with a heavy-duty burn over most of their body and incredible pain could get skin that could relieve that pain without scarring and restored? I know a little 10-year-old boy in Stamford, and he has leukemia. And he doesn't qualify for any clinical trials. And he's got about a week to live. And I so wish something here could help him. Okay, gun control. This is the Luddite gun control. Not to engage is to self-destruct. Are you hearing my message here? So we might as well have fun. All right, where to watch. The military has things before the public has it. Remember the internet? It was theirs, wasn't it? They gave it to us. So watching the military, watching Washington. I just mentioned the legislation that will need to be put in place. What about buyouts, acquisitions, and mergers? There's opportunity in every one of them, even if you're part of it. How about disruptive innovation? This is going to be huge because companies are going to crop up and disappear a lot. And what's going to happen is small companies figure out a lower alternative, and they offer it. And since the world is flat, they can offer it across the globe. And then they improve their product and they undertake the market. And the large companies, which can't move as fast, go, ooh, where'd they come from? And go to a segmentation. And companies get segmented. This is not new. This is already happening, and there's opportunities here. Watch for what's called disruptive innovation. There's some marvelous videos on it online. And this one is critical. I am extremely concerned as I look at job seekers today, going back to work, and they are frightened that they're going to lose their job again. You know what's happened to you, and I think we've underestimated completely the impact of what has happened in this nation. And they're afraid to take risk. Can anyone in this room, I get upset about this, can anyone in this room tell me that they didn't know the websites for the ACA program were going to crash? They didn't, nobody had a clue. All the companies that were there, no one had a clue, right? I can't believe that. And the one person who stood up and said it is now on the street looking for a job. I'm concerned that we have got to find a way to encourage risk-taking, because that's how innovation comes together, right?